Greetings, and good afternoon, family. Welcome, Juneteenth family, to our weekly Thursday Lunch and Learn. Today, we have Alicia Foxworth with us from, oh, look at my phone closing, Brownstone Steps Entertainment. She's here today to share her talents with us and tell us all about her company, what she has going on, what she's up to. I'm going to say be pleasantly surprised. She's very talented and guided by the ancestors. And with that, I will welcome in Alicia Foxworth.
Hello. Thank you for having me. So good to be here.
So welcome, Alicia. So welcome. So with Transparency Community, we definitely had a little bit of technical difficulty. So I didn't get a chance to check in with Alicia and see how she wants me to support her today. So Alicia, should I pass the mic on to you and let you just do your thing, and Medi will support you by showing your videos whenever you're ready and you introducing what you want? Or would you like me to hang out here with you and kind of do like a
Oh, absolutely. Please, let's hang out. Let's have a chat, do the Q&A and whatever, however the spirit guides us, we'll just, follow along.
Okay, I like that. So tell us about Brownstone Steps Entertainment.
Okay, so, Brownstone Steps Entertainment is obviously the name under which I work with regards to all of my arts. And it started pretty interestingly on the steps of a brownstone when my father would come home from work. He and I would sit outside and he would read the paper after work, after dinner. I would actually be sitting there and reading with him. And that's kind of like where I got most of my counsel, told him about my day, my problem, got solutions, the way parents do. They sit you down and they talk and they listen for a while. And we did that for years. That was kind of like our thing, our pastime. And it wasn't until, a while after he passed away that I realized a lot of the stories that I write about and the things that I'm curious about in the world were formed sitting on those brownstone steps. So I kind of came up with the use of this name, kind of like as a homage back to the time he and I spent together. And so it's a lot of stories, but I like to always say the heart of the story, any story that I write, is on the brownstone steps.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And may I ask, what was your dad's name?
His name was George Marina. I do have a few characters in some of my stories that have a name, either George or his middle name, Robert, and things of that nature. So I try to incorporate him and some of his energy into the things that I write about.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. I'm a believer of speaking our ancestors' names in our spaces when we're there. So honoring Mr. George. So tell us, what are your modes of entertainment? What are your different things that are under that umbrella of Brownstone Steps Entertainment?
Well, for now, most of my work has been in theater. We've done a few scripts for television that we are shopping around, pushing around, trying to get some attention for. But most of my work has actually been on stage. And so we do an annual event every year called the Brownstone Steps Play Festival. And I incorporate into that short one acts written by myself and other local playwrights. We showcase our work and we share that with the community. But I also started a reading series last year during the pandemic. One of the things that we wanted to do with that was to basically, help people who were hurting from the pandemic. People couldn't go anywhere. The theaters were closed. I saw a lot of arts people doing work in the community on the steps of their brownstones, singing and playing music and entertaining people. And knowing that it was safest outdoors, we started going into the garden and seeking events where we could actually showcase our work outside and still provide some entertainment for people. So hopefully we'll get a chance to do that again this year as well. But that's what we have coming up. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I will be in the artist lineup again this year for Juneteenth.
Oh, super, super, super. I look forward to that as well. I know I was out in the park last year. You see, I'm wearing my shirt today from my last annual event. And it was very, 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 very perfect, divine in the space, talking about Juneteenth, it was more than just art.
Yes. It was a celebration. And, one of the things that I like about what you all do is you remind people of what we fought for and where we've come from. And you keep it forefront in people's mind that our freedom was not free. And it was hard fought for and won. And Providence has made it so that now, being a legal holiday, on last year, we were able to actually present something that talked about a man becoming free and finding out what it would be like for him in this world, to negotiate his own salary, to demand pay for his labor and no longer be a slave. So it was a joy to celebrate with you all and to present something that we felt was aligned with your message.
Super cool. I definitely am looking forward to and hoping to see you on that lineup as well. I will be in town again this year. So I definitely, what came up for me that I wanted to ask, and for those others out there that are playwrights like you or artists like you. So Brownstone Steps Entertainment doesn't only cover your work, you also have other artists under the umbrella. Is this something that people can come to and maybe apply or apprentice? How does it work? How do you use Brownstone?
So Brownstone Steps is actually my work. The festival that I produce does invite playwrights to participate. So that is not competitive. It's not something you apply for. I basically curate the material that we present with that through my interactions with other workshops, other events that I go to throughout the year. Some events I get invited to. I come in and obviously I will check out the work of other playwrights. And then at a certain point in the year, I send out my invitations and see who is available and who can participate. And from there, for that particular event, yes, I do actually showcase more than just my own work. With the readings in the garden, that is also another opportunity. It is also something that I invite people to. I present some of my own work, monologues mostly. But on last year when we did it, because it was something we were trying to incorporate community for, I actually invited 2 other playwrights to present work. And I just basically produced the event under Brownstone Steps. But yes, there were about 3 playwrights for that. And we did it again for the festival. So it is my arts organization, but at the same time, I try to incorporate community in pretty much everything I do.
Gotcha. I hear you, definitely partnering with power out there. So tell us, I'm going to open the floor to you to share. Maybe, so you shared how you got to the point of Brownstone Steps, the stories, the time with your dad, but tell us a little bit more about Alicia as well.
So Alicia is in the village of Brooklyn, born and raised in a neighborhood we call Bed-Stuy. Bedford-Stuyvesant is the formal name, but we grew up calling it Bed-Stuy. And I am a child of community programs. I was born at a time, during the Black Panthers, where activism was bringing everybody together to try and raise the quality of life for Black Americans here in New York City. And so I've done I guess you could say my time where I've tutored in after school programs, or I've counseled young people getting them into college the way that someone counseled me to help me get into college. Through community programs, I went to an historically Black college, Virginia State University, got my degree, came back home to New York City and did my graduate work. My husband is also from Bed-Stuy. We live in a brownstone, believe it or not. And so that's kind of been my trajectory. And at different stages of my life, pretty much every pivotal moment has been at the hands of community, getting me into college, getting me to see the world outside of my neighborhood. And then, of course, coming back, raised in the faith community, very active here in New York City with that. And, I see at different junctures of my own personal development, there was always this sense of, like you were saying, guided by the ancestors, where I felt like there was always a cloud of witnesses just cheering us on and helping me to move into the next phase of my work. I actually got heavily involved in the arts when I was out of work, believe it or not. I went through a period of time where I was working part-time jobs and consulting. And I woke up one morning and I really felt the spirit just, giving me the inclination to write. And I began to do that. It was quiet in the house. Nobody was moving around. Sometimes you can get your best work done when it's quiet. And as things slowly started to come out of me and I put it down, pen to paper, sometimes fingers to the keyboard, I started to see the stories form, and so I did a few things on stage, just, learning the process, understanding how this industry works. And then after I started to get really serious about it, I started to seek out other collaborative groups like writing workshops, going to my community access station and meeting other arts people so that I could learn more about their work, their lens, how they see the development of our craft. And it's been an upward hill. There's been some plateaus, obviously, but it's been worth it because you're going through a learning curve. And as I started to write better, started to come up with more interesting characters, understanding their motives and why I needed them to tell my stories, it became a lot more fun. And that's one of the things you want to do in life, is to pursue something that's fun as well as the work. Because if you have fun doing it, it's actually not as much work as we like to think of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and arts does that, but it's also been very healing. It's been a release in ways, things that I might have journaled about, believe it or not, now are on stage. And my mother likes to say sometimes with my storytelling, we have to be careful because she might tell all our business. So I have to be careful.
And just may use our names too.
Yeah, so I try to be careful.
That's such a beautiful share. And it actually leads me into asking, what would you like? Because I definitely want the world to see, because we have like a nice, great full picture of Alicia now, and a grand understanding of Brownstone Steps Entertainment. So I'm curious to know, which piece would you like us to showcase for you? Because I definitely want them to see your work. Like it's always, when you're hearing about something, it's like, oh, I want to know, but you don't really know until you actually get to experience it. I was part of the Juneteenth board and committee, so I was in the meeting speaking up until that, until you actually presented live and in stage, and it definitely didn't know, like, I had no idea what was coming and that I would be that wild and enjoy it that much. So I want them to see what you're up to. So you let Medi know what you'd like her to play first.
Well, we can definitely play the clip from last year. That is an excerpt from a piece that I did in workshop. It's called Ghostwriter. And it was started off as a love story. And while we're talking, we can kind of fast forward to the point where he starts to interact with the mayor, Mayor Fox. And it started off as a love story between, two characters. And as I started to write, the story started to, tell me what I was going to write. And it evolved. It evolved beyond the love story to, a fight for freedom. And one lover who lost the love of his life actually became a crusader. He became an abolitionist because obviously he wanted to see other people be free. And when he comes across this one small town, there's a character that I didn't expect to write so much about, who was newly emancipated. Just at the time in New York State, when our abolition laws required everybody to be free. And it was now illegal to actually bring slaves into New York State. So, you know, you had a lot of people walking around. They had been smuggled into the state, and they were hush hush, you know, much like immigrants that are working here legally and they're afraid of being deported or afraid of being separated from their families. And so this one particular character, a young man, he's young, he's healthy, he's vibrant, he's curious about the world around him, and he's seeing other Black or Negro, as they called them back then, free Negroes. He's seeing them work in their own apothecaries, you know, making herbs. He's seeing them teach in schools and preach in the church. And he's saying to himself, now that I'm free, you know, what can I do? What can I see? Where can I go? And he wants to see more than what he's seen in his small town of Kellington. So he has an actual monologue in the play that spoke to me. And just before he has a confrontation with his former owner, who is alarmed to know that his slave is aware he's free now. And so, you know, if she can fast forward up to that clip, I think this was the piece that we presented last year. And I think it's interesting how he attempts his very first salary negotiation.
Wow. Wow. That gives me even more, like, my heart is just really impacted right now. I also love how you align our stories of yesterday with our stories of today, with the experiences of today that actually align with, you know, it basically shares that the world changes, but it really doesn't, unfortunately, but fortunately.
Unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, he doesn't know what a salary negotiation is, but that's what he's attempting to do.
So that's what I always live on. I live on those little beauties in between the chaos of our world. Mm-hmm. There's still so many small beauties, and those are them, the ones where we do get to find our voice. We do get to find our purpose and actually live from that. Mm-hmm. It makes it all worth it. So
So yeah, this is Ghostwriter. The character is Bartholomew Windley speaking to Mayor Fox, his former owner. And this is his attempt at a salary negotiation as a free man. Coming up next.
And what's so important that I gotta be out here from sun up to sundown, well into the night with hardly a break? The only thing keeping me from... No. This is my day. This is my chance. Surely, after all these years walking these docks in the cold and the rain, I just gotta say it the right way. That Mayor Fox, well, he's a businessman. And as soon as I lay out the particulars, I'm sure he'll see my take on things. After we talk, I'll celebrate my birthday with a slice of Mama D's peach pie. All right.
Bartholomew! Front and center! Will you stop acting a fool, boy? I don't need to be entertained. Did you check the locks?
Yes, sir. Iron locks don't break. Your cargo is secure, and I didn't go inside. What kind of cargo we guarding, sir?
Never you mind, Bartholomew. Just do as you're told, understand?
Yes, sir. Walk the docks back and forth, and if I see anything screwy, come get you alive. Yes, sir, I understand.
Good. Now, Mama Dear has prepared dinner. I'll return in the morning to give you a break.
In the morning? Before you go.
What? What is it?
Today is the day I'm emancipated.
Who told you that?
Madison. He read the law to me. Today, I'm a free man. Ain't you gonna say anything?
Congratulations. Listen, Bartholomew, if you have any idea of leaving me, don't you forget I'll take an excellent care of you since you were a boy.
Absolutely, sir.
Fed you one good meal every day and kept a roof over your head.
Of course, sir. But there's the matter of
What?
if I'm going to be on these docks, I was wondering how much you're gonna.
Gonna what?
Well, I was
Speak it out, Bartholomew.
but I was wondering if you was gonna pay me.
Why, you little... Pay you? I treated you like family. You come back here. Come back here, you...
My rates is flexible.
What? Get up. Once again, give it up for a play.
That was awesome. That was Chris Radlin as Bartholomew and Stan Butterla as Mayor Fox.
He said, my rates are flexible, but I know I'm worth something, okay? I love it. I love it. I love it.
Oh, and I meant to say it was directed by Michael Green from Shades of Truth Black Theater.
Oh, beautiful.
Awesome.
Partner with power. So I am curious. I also know that you have some more clips, and being that I've seen that one, I want to see more, but I want you to kind of lead us into whatever it is that you'd like to share with us, or which clip you'd like to share with us, rather. Yeah.
Some of the writing I have thus far on this particular story is just examining what it was like after the Great Migration. And I took a little bit out of my father's story, some of the stories he told me about he and his friends when they came up north. He's from the South, my mother's from the South. And, you know, what it was like working in construction and when the NAACP inspectors would come around, making sure enough Negroes were on different construction sites. And so I kind of created these characters based on some of the stories he and his friends used to tell me. And so what I have in this next clip is really a preview of what I hope to be on your stage this summer. It's called The Come Up, and I am working on some new material for it. I developed this piece during workshop. It's a short one act, and it gives you a glimpse into what it's like to build generational wealth, especially coming from the era in which he was born. And in this particular story, he's passing down his skills, his business, everything he's built to his daughter, or at least she expects that he will. And so at one point, her sister gets married, and the new son-in-law becomes the son he never had. He only has daughters. And so this young daughter who has learned the business and has a knack for construction becomes threatened. So it's called The Come Up, and you're going to find out who exactly is on The Come Up. So it's just a preview.
All right. Looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. And so while she's putting that up, it's performed by Nzintha Smith, Henley De Jesus, and Ben Rowe, and it's directed by Archie Johnson.
Beautiful.
The heir apparent of a successful business finds out that her soon-to-be brother-in-law is cozy enough to her dad. Sparks. Ladies and gentlemen, The Come Up. Directed by
Now today, get your feet wet. Tomorrow, I just might be a little rougher on you just because you're marrying my daughter. I understand. Can't have the guys thinking that you're getting preferential treatment, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, nah. It's cool, JC. I get it.
Cool. Well, we still get to celebrate a strong week. All right? We read a schedule, and I got that addition to the AME church around the corner, so cheers.
That's what's up, JC. Let me top that off for you.
Thank you, son. You know, you're good.
Anytime, Pops.
I like that. You keep it.
Will do. I'm also a good golfer. When's the last time you used a golf course?
It's been a while. Maybe now that we have some help, I can get back to it.
Any room in that golf course?
Most definitely. I'll keep you posted.
Cool.
Building out of the mud. And let me tell you, she was focused too. Turned around, she saw.
I am done. I'm home. Mr. Henry has got to go. What a fight.
Speak of the devil.
Say what?
Hey, D. What's wrong with Mr. Henry?
He can't take orders. Every time I try to tell him something, try to explain something, he acts like I'm giving him a hard time.
D, I keep telling you. He's just not used to you. Henry has been working with me from the beginning, since when you were in school.
Dad, listen, Mr. Henry's getting up there. I'm running out of things for him to do. Seriously.
Maybe he can work with me. Since I'm getting started and all, he can help train me.
Hey, that's a good idea.
On how to do what? Sling bricks and cinder blocks? I don't think so.
I know.
I thought whiskey was your drink of choice.
Oh, this here is a gift from your old man, from Mike here.
You know, Pops is a master carpenter amongst his many skills to show my appreciation.
I see. Well, Michael, my father and I have to discuss some business matters. Would you mind excusing us? Today.
Oh, sure. I gotta get upstairs and wash up. The things don't even belong in the house. Pops, thanks for the drinks.
All right, anytime, son, anytime.
So what's this?
What are you talking about?
The drinks? Vodka. Getting all chummy.
He's marrying your sister, D.
Yeah, but that's family. And this is business. The last time I checked, I thought I was your head nigga.
D. He just wants to build a venture.
Oh, I heard him. But this is what we do. At the end of the week, we discuss how the business is going. This is our thing, Dad.
Well, he doesn't have a thing. He needs this.
Well, know this. Just because he's married into this family doesn't make him flesh and blood. You can't just sling bricks for a couple of weeks and have a drink with your father-in-law and think that you're going to one day own and run this company.
You're overreacting, D.
He is not qualified to run this company.
Well, apparently neither are you.
Oh, wow. I love that. I love the way she entered the room. It was like you knew she was just like over it. That's great, Alicia. I really do hope to see that piece this year presented as well. I'm sure you'll find out in the next few weeks coming up as we are making decisions and meeting up and progressing on with the plan for Juneteenth. So please do let us know, is there anything else that we should know that you have going on, coming up, anything else that you'd like to share that you're up to?
Well, I'm definitely involved in writers' workshops. People can certainly visit our website to find out the ones that I participate in, and or follow me on social media so they can see my postings, and hopefully they will join us and read from myself as well as other writers who are in the room. And that's what's going on right now. But coming up in the summer, we do plan to do another set of readings in the garden. And we're looking forward to the Brownstone Play Festival in October, on October 7th.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Medi will drop your information. You're right there, already there, right on time, always. And Athenia, our queen mother of our Juneteenth NYC, had also made a comment of that the piece that you just presented, how it hit. Just because they are married into the family does not make them flesh and blood. So I always feel like that's one of those really interesting conversations, especially in our community. You know, we're a community that has cousins often that are not like our actual cousins, but everybody's cousins. So it just kind of reminds me of that piece right there, where it's like people are telling you all the time, that's not your cousin, that's not your cousin. And we never know. And that, I guess, family is what we make it, really.
It really is. And one of the things that she has to learn is, here is a young man who grew up without a father, and she doesn't realize how blessed she was to have the presence of her father every day in her life. And she needs to learn some empathy for this young man. And her father tried to tell her that in one statement, but this might take a little bit more time for her to come to terms with, some more compassion. Because obviously, if she wants to run the family business one day, she's going to need more compassion and respect, for the people that work hard for her father's company. And so, again, like you said, family is what we make it, and it's with those that love us right where we are. And hopefully, Deidre's character will come to understand that.
What also just came up for me is I do a lot of work from operating from how we operate from stories. And it's almost like she created a whole story around what could happen with someone who doesn't even have experience in the field at all. Like, he's just hungry to learn, hungry, like you said, to have that father figure, hungry to enter a family that seems to be very tight knit and solidly built. And how we can create stories when we feel insecure or threatened or, non-empathetic and non-compassionate, like you said.
Truly.
Well, it has been a pleasure, Alicia.
Thank you.
Were there any more clips that you wanted to share before we head out, or anything else?
Those were the two that I provided in hopes that we could talk about them today. Yeah.
Right. Great. So I want to make sure that you are complete before we exit the conversation.
We are also looking for people to read for us. We're working on a piece called Cry. It's an ongoing work in development. We did some excerpts last year. One in particular was very, very popular, called El Diablo. Was performed for us by Kenya Wilson, and it's about fracking. So right now we're looking at a lot of issues that are affecting our community, whether in Brownsville, Brooklyn, or upstate in Sheridan's Hollow. Communities of color are being impacted. And so, if there are any people listening in who would like to read with us as we continue to develop that work, we appreciate, you putting out a good word and getting us in touch with the right people. So we appreciate you guys for letting us talk about it today.
And with that piece, is it a virtual piece, or would they need to be in person with you to
presently, everything we're doing is virtually because we are developing pieces. Hopefully in the very short term future, we will be able to do it live on stage. But the pieces that we presented as excerpts last year, those were done live on stage outdoors. We did 2 excerpts from the piece. One was, again, about fracking. We called that El Diablo. That was done by Kenya Wilson. We did another piece about homelessness called I Got My Own Juice, and that was performed by Michelle De La Fave. And the cast we're working on is obviously very diverse, but all of these issues are hard-hitting issues in the Black community and communities of color, Black and brown communities, and yellow communities. And we're hopeful to bring out some more of my work that affects all of those communities this year.
you. Thank you so much, Alicia. This has been an absolute pleasure. Nice to get to know the faces and the people behind the art. Having seen your piece from last year, being able to literally connect with you and feel your spirit and your energy and your covering. It's been a blessing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, community, for being with us today. Please do follow Alicia. And if you're interested in reading for her and reading as part of her series, please, please, please reach out. Her information is there in the chat on the side. And we will see you next week.